Hello, everyone. The stock market followed through on its reversal yesterday, and while, on the surface, shortest term, not a good sign, especially with volume higher and it being a distribution day. Looking at the big picture, volume is still below average on the NASDAQ. So getting outright bearish here because we reversed at this key line, I mean, I can understand it, obviously, with the way that these index charts look. But really, as long as we're in between these September highs and August lows, and we have below average volume, becoming a bull or bear here just doesn't make sense. It makes more sense to operate under neutral condition. Now, obviously, the quasi-neutral operational condition that our model was in on the NASDAQ has switched back to an operational sell signal following yesterday's reversals and today's follow-through day. And that also goes for the Russell 2000, which was down 0.95% yesterday, following through on its reversal yesterday. So the Russell 2000 also basically has remained under a sell condition, but the quasi-neutral is just completely gone back to a sell condition. The S&P 500 trying to get back to a operational sell signal. It's also under a quasi-neutral sell signal because, like I told you, whenever we re-break the 50-day moving average on the upside, when the 50-day moving average is trending lower, it has to turn higher. It started to flatten out here, but it has to actually turn higher before it actually switches to a full neutral condition. So the S&P 500 remains under a quasi-neutral, basically sell condition still. But once again, look at the volume on the S&P 500. We're basically range bound. You can take these September highs, October highs, these resistance levels at July and August, and as long as we're trapped in between this area and those August, September lows, guys, it's going to be hard to get a lot of great long signals and great short signals to make a lot of money on. Now, if you'll remember, yesterday I made a video, and I actually gave a short signal that I told you I was going to short if I could find shares to borrow on Interactive Brokers. I entered my UVXY order, entered my BIS order, and for some odd reason, checked EROS, saw that there were shares to short, but I actually didn't press sell, and I thought that I pressed sell to short it, and went about my day. Mets game's over, blah, blah, come home, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, woke up after the market opened to see what eventually happened to EROS. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I hope everybody took the short sell signal. Interactive Brokers had like 20,000 shares to borrow. Checked it last night. It was good to go. Had the order all filled out, ready to go. All I had to do was press short, and I didn't press short, and I never came back, and I totally forgot. Inexcusable, unbelievable, and once again, proving once again that every time I make a mistake, it costs me severely, and that's why you have to remain super focused in the game. I did not drink yesterday. I was not drunk. I just made a total mental error and totally forgot to short EROS. But it was flagged in the new positions page and given yesterday, and I hope everybody took it because today, unfortunately, the closest good-looking signal is AMSG, and it's of much higher quality than EROS, which moved to me just smelled of total pump and dumpish. Even though it wasn't the best, it was still a great setup. But AMSG is about the best one today, but still, I wouldn't want to take that one short. If you do, move above 83.10 as your sell stop. There are no new long signals today, no new short signals, no inverse signals. I flagged 0 potential long positions. I flagged 0 shorts. You're actually looking at the best possible setup out there to take a short sell on, and it's going to be way more riskier than EROS because just you could tell with a 3% move in EROS is a lot smaller than a percent move in at 3.90% AMSG, so it's a way riskier trade than EROS, and also it's just a much higher quality stock, AMSG, so I doubt that it's going to fall 20% in one day. But anything could happen. It's earnings season, and this is when things get ugly. And I tell you what, a lot of macro data that came out today, ugly. New mortgage applications, rising inventories, slowing revenues. It looks like it's going to be revenues are going to fall across the board this earnings season. It's total revenue recession. Saw Walmart, not good. Target, not good. Retail stocks, not good. Look like that they want to go ahead and roll over. So just not a really happy situation looking out there, and I don't know how this stays whenever the best charts I have are all in the metals, gold stock, area, and chemical like IOSP, oil like CVX, FXE. Gotta love that euro play. We got a euro US dollar long position that's working with one of our chat room members. He's been doing very well on that end. TLT starting to try to trend higher again. But really outside of oil and gold, and how about, by the way, gold, how about UGLD shaking me out of my position by, what was it, 893, shook me out, got down to 867 before bouncing all the way back. Kept too tight of stops. That's my biggest problem. Should have probably kept that final sell stop all the way 840 on following our long position. Would have still at least have half the position now. And I don't know how much it's up, but I think it's a healthy amount. 15%, so UGLD has been working nicely. I have a feeling it was actually back here. This was the signal. And then I moved my sell stops up. Jesus, that's even worse if it was. I got to go check on that. 22% if that's the case. But bottom line is I don't have gold either. So I don't have gold. I don't have EROS. And I was at one point disappointed that I didn't have BOFI. And why should you have sell stops on the books in this kind of market? Right there. Boom. Imagine if you don't have sell stops. So on this position, in this trade, following now, you're making money. I'm going to have half the sell stop below 135.39 because that's when BOP went green. And then I'm going to have a final sell stop at 123.71. Worst case scenario, you've got one sell stop at 130.27 and one at 123.71. As soon as this trades below 123.71, you're out. If you don't have sell stops on the book, look at what you now have. So instead of getting out basically break even with the two sell stops I had, the one for profits, the one for small losses, by using intraday sell stops, if you would have gone long off the signal that I regretted not taking, you would now be down 23%. And that's the danger of going long in this market. This is a market that's breakouts or reversals, man. For breakouts or fake outs. Look at EXPE. EXP is a perfect speculator quality one. Look at AMWD yesterday. Netflix after hours is one of our long positions. Got knocked out of half of it with the move below 108.78 intraday. Thank goodness, because right now it's gapping down, and I think last time I checked it out it was like around 106. But the bottom line is stocks are not acting like that they're in a bull market. You had EPAM reverse yesterday. We got a lot of stocks I got to think about sell stops. ManH, U-Haul. Got to play around with my sell stops here. I want to go VRSK. Today's low a day will get me out of all that. BNCN, move below today's low a day. It's going to probably get me out of the rest of it because it looks like it's completely rolling over. APDN starting to take our profits. But BNCN on an end-of-day basis, 50% sell. This is now going to be, should be your final sell stop level, 21.52. A move below that, you need to be completely out of it. It's just not acting right. VRSK is a 50% sell signal with it moving below here, 79.78. I wanted to see, a move below that and then judge where my final sell stop is going to be. So right now my final sell stop in this position is all the way down to 76.63. It's now being raised to 78.88. And PLAY moving below that day's low a day, the 12:38.17 intraday, knocked me out of the full position. But on an end-of-day basis, it's also a full sell signal with it reversing all these up days. I don't really care about that low a day. This is the low a day, 38.12. That's more important, and it's closing below that. So it's a sketchy market out there. Hard to be a bull in this tape. Also, at the same time, hard to be extremely bearish. But I tell you what, that kind of reversal in Bank of America, Goldman Sachs. You see JP Morgan today. Bank stocks are a good tell on the market, and they don't look too hot. Your big cap stocks, Google L, that doesn't look like a good breakout. Our Amazon looks like it could reverse. Priceline, reversing that breakout on heavier volume. Apple going nowhere. CMG breaking down below the 50-day moving average on heavy volume. Just not a healthy market. Be careful. Cash is king.